Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode. What is it now?
Oh,
Five,
six.
or is it six or
Five.
five? I don't even know.
I
Yeah,
wrote five to
uh,
it.
yeah. Okay, so it's episode five, and yeah, we have a special guest here, Heather. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Heather from Cold Hands Collective. I organize esports and stuff in the beautiful city of Calgary, Alberta. That's how me and Jovic know each other, is through the gaming community. So we've known each other or known of each other for a long ass time, but honestly never interacted. So honestly, I'm saying pleasure to meet you
Yeah.
properly. I feel like we don't talk.
Yeah, because
Um,
you go to a lot of events when I'm in Calgary, so or like I just see you a lot, so yeah. But yeah,
yeah, it's cool to
so
connect over this.
oh
Our,
sorry.
our interactions up till now have been us messaging each other about our rate your music accounts, which has been amusing. To
Mm-hmm.
share that back and forth. I saw my dear friend Rats went on your podcast, and I was like, okay, well, it can't be that intimidating.
Yeah.
And I messaged you and reached out, and here we are.
Yeah, and can you describe more about what Cold Hands Collective does for
Oh my
Calgary?
gosh, I'd be overjoyed to. We started to try and get Smash events that were less connected to like university clubs. The
Mm.
Super Smash Bros. Communities have just run on volunteer labor for a long ass time, which is lovely, which contributes to the grassroots feeling of everything. We started a real nonprofit called Cold Hands, and we're trying to use it to essentially like get premium venues, get some government funding and things like that, graduate beyond doing things at the size of like university clubs, and really like pay our personnel and our volunteers a little bit better. So those are some of our goals. Right now, we're just operating inside Calgary, and yeah, trying to bring like both consistent weeklies and also more interesting, unusual one-off events to the community too.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly what we're doing. We're a group of like there's almost six of us, and a lot of us have like lots of years of experience as TOs. So we're also pretty excited just to consolidate some of that experience.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like a lot of good events, right? Like we had was the fireplace tournament was Cold Hands ran, right?
Yep, that was our
No.
inaugural one.
And yeah,
We're
like
doing
stuff like online
we're
stuff, right?
doing
Oh.
yeah, we're doing an online one. We're doing a bi-weekly one in the basement of a community hall. Um, and yeah, I don't know, telling people to just keep their eyes on our socials, keep their eyes out for more interesting upcoming plans. Um, yeah, more to come.
Mm. Yeah, and if you guys are in Calgary, make sure to look them up and, enter some events, it's fun. And yeah. So you chose one that I also really love like a lot. So and you chose Strawberry Jam by Animal Collective. And why is that?
Animal Collective is a they're a cool ass band. I I feel like I got into them when I was a late teenager, 17 or 18 or so. Um, I have no idea if this is embarrassing to share these days, but I used to browse the 4chan music board, and I think Meriwether Post Pavilion was considered like one of their essentials, like on their essential listening list, alongside like In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I don't know. I don't know if they update that list. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if those are timeless picks or whatever. But Animal Collect was on there. So it was just like among the first bands that I tried to deep dive, and I was entranced from an early age by kind of the evolution of their sound. As I'm sure you know, like the earlier stuff
Mm-hmm.
is chaotic, soundscapey. People described it as like freak folk. I really adore Still. Spirit They've Gone, Spirit They Vanish,
Yeah,
which
the
recently
first
got a
one, right?
re-release. Very cool one. I'm gonna make mentions to it comparatively, I think, for some of these songs because it's just got such an interesting, unique intensity to it. And then like through like I just think every album sounds different, and that's so fun and interesting in the discography of an artist. And that was often how I would like pitch it to my friends. So yeah, and later on, like neo psychedelia, as you said, um, into just straight enjoyable like pop music, like really commercial, really accessible, but in a way that like didn't take away from it. Like it's also cool to me to some extent that they preserve some of their crazier DNA when they go more commercial or something like that.
Mm,
To me, Strawberry Jam is like right at the inflection point between freak folk stuff and the psychedelic pop stuff. And it's got elements of both, and it's got some other different secret sauce in there that's just this crazy third thing. It's really interesting to me if you think of Animal Collective as like having this kind of evolution. That yeah, this is like a teenager type, like an adolescent album in their sound. Like they're right in the middle of evolving some of their more layered sensibilities, more focus on melody, stuff like that.
mm.
It's interesting for other like personally resonant reasons that I'm just gonna like talk about all throughout. But that's why it has a special place in my heart. And the reason I picked it to chat with you was because I already mentioned rate your music. I was going through your rate your music 5 out of 5s. I was just like, oh, this is a cool one to be in your 5 out of 5s.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
me your connection with this band and again, this album. Is this your favorite Animal Collective album?
Yeah, I'll get into like my introduction with them. Like I always knew them like in passing, like
Hmm.
in like 2019, 2020. But like the things that I liked back then were like post rock and like math rock, like really like
Hmm.
serious like music. And like it now, like listening to like stuff like Deerhoof, which you know, and like the Fiery Furnaces, we did an episode on that one. Like yeah, like I think those types of bands like gave me like you know more perspective on like Animal Collective and like
Hmm.
enjoying like music that is fun in that way. Because like you know how like post rock is like really like I don't know, just very serious in its nature. And like yeah.
Sometimes a lot more serious. You're right. Yeah.
And yeah, this is my favorite one. Like yeah, um compared to like Merryweather Post Pavilion because like I just like the chaoticness. Like when you play the first track, Peacebone, it's just so like crazy and intense. Like there's a lot of energy in this one, and it feels like it's like it kept like the rawness almost like compared to the other stuff that they made
Hmm.
back then.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you've heard Merryweather. Have you heard like Sung Tong and Feels?
Yeah, yeah. I've heard
Okay.
Sung
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tongs. I'm more familiar with that one.
Yeah. And I'm
And
gonna be doing like various comparisons, I guess. Throughout. And even if you just have vague familiarity, even just with like the sounds or the vibes of these things, like vague memory is gonna be enough, to be honest.
mhm. And yeah,
What are you gonna say?
um, yeah, because I already mentioned like the craziness. Yeah, that's all I have to really say about that. Like, um, yeah. Do you want to get into the background of this band, maybe?
Why don't you lead on that? Because I'm not really a big like Wikipedia reader. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. Why don't you take the lead on this?
So okay, let's see here. So they started in 1990, which is surprising. Like I I didn't realize that, and yeah, they're sort of like these four guys, and I guess in the earlier stuff they didn't have geologist and deacon, but yeah, they started out as like this like really like experimental band, and like and some freak folk in there too, and they sort of came out of this like I guess like scene maybe I guess like from or like scene that like bands like Black Dice, Gang Dance, sort of like those I guess like experimental rock stuff. Similar to they're like because I listened to Black Dice like yesterday And they
Hmm.
kind of remind me of you know that album Arc or Here Comes the Indian.
I didn't. I think I skipped that one. I don't know that one.
Yeah, that one
There's a
is,
lot of similarities.
yeah, a lot of similarities. Like it's kind of hard to listen to, like stuff like that. And yeah, Animal Collective is like kind of, I guess they're considered like psychedelic pop, neo psych, sort of that stuff now. And yeah,
If
um,
I have a lot of interest to check out Arc like soon
mhm.
because I've heard people describe it as like unapproachable or dense or
It's a hard
challenging or
one.
whatever.
Yeah, I
I
get.
like music that is on its surface. We're gonna say we're gonna repeat ourselves a lot about I guess like Peacebone in particular, like music that maybe has a little bit of like a shove away at first. So like the first few seconds of Peacebone being robotic, chaotic, alienating, whatever.
Mhm.
And then like I'm gonna tie that back to that the very first track on Spirit They've Gone, Spirit They've Vanished. I can't remember. Maybe it's the title track, but it's this screeching, piercing, just shrill, harsh noise drone. Like maybe it's a feedback noise or something like that. And that album and Strawberry Jam, I think, have elements of like having something harsh, um, that you have to push through to get to something maybe more structured or pleasing or enjoyable. But the initial push is so interesting. Um, yeah, like harsh, unappealing stuff. Like people describe like Merzbow as harsh noise and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That there's sort of this element outside the music of it's like an endurance test almost, or people are like I don't know, like challenging themselves to be able to stomach it or whatever. Um, Another thing that comes to mind is like uh, freaking Lou Reed Metal Machine music in terms
Oh
of
yeah.
just like sticking guitar feedback into your ears and and people are always like reaching for an explanation for harsh noise things. Like with Metal Machine music, it's often I don't know if you like talk about this or read how people write about this or like know how controversial it was to just have a full annoying harsh noise album
Yeah,
and
especially
and
for Lou
people just
Reed.
stop well for Lou Reed, right?
Yeah.
And people just stopped talking about the music. They were like, is this a joke? Is this an insult? Is this a way to get back at the music industry? All talking about these things that don't involve like listening to the music. And I'm like, you guys just shut up. The music is what it is. Just listen to the album.
Yeah.
Um, to some extent, but that's kind of like an effect that harsher noise can have is like I don't know, kicking you out of it for a sec.
Mhm.
Like, oh shit, what did I just put on, or what just came on Spotify recommended, or something like that. Um, yeah, I got a little off topic, but you were talking about the theme of yeah, music that's just on the face of it, like not just experimental, but like pushes you, shoves you a little,
Yeah,
right?
like they kind of like test you for like
Yeah.
in like the first seconds, and then if you like it, then you're gonna get like something great out of it at the
Hmm,
end.
a little, a bit of a bit of a filtering operation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and um, hmm, like here I'm just gonna yeah, like the yeah, and like Peacebone, like I feel like it's always like the little tests in Strawberry Jam. I feel like where in the I guess like I feel like number one is a really good example of that, where it's just like slowed down and just like really weird. Like that one.
Unsettling, tense.
Mm-hmm.
Tense was the word I ended up writing down for that song.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Very. It feels also very like anxious. I don't know. There's something to
Hmm.
that. Um, but yeah, we let's get more into the album. Like, and they signed. So this album was when they signed to Domino, and I think they talk about it like they had like something to prove. Where
Mm.
and they feel like they weren't like satisfied with what they like finished with Strawberry Jam, and I think that's really interesting. Like that like being on a major label can make you like feel this way, I guess.
Right, right. Um, yeah, I have to admit, I feel like I don't have enough like context to know when you're because you also pointed out they founded in like 1999. Like they've been making music together in one form or another for a good while among their following, like their local following especially. I'm sure that they've got like some feeling of feeling established. So I don't know. Yeah, I wonder the same way that you do. That it's like, did they have something to prove for like a global audience now? Um, the way music was listened to these years, I was for some just disconnected reason, for some other reason, I was like looking up old music um, piracy software like LimeWire and so on. And there's a statistic on the Wikipedia page that said like in such and such year, LimeWire was installed on 1/3 of all home computers or something like that.
Mm.
Um, music, I guess, at the time, I was only born in 1997, and honestly, I don't think I started listening to music or like caring about music until well after this. So I'm certainly not an authority on like the um, culture of how music was shared around and so on at the time, or like
Hmm.
how global this stuff was. Um, I'm sure like music journalism outlets like Pitchfork. I'm sure that's one of the only surviving ones that is still in like common parlance in music circles. But like these did exist just in a different form. Like I think that the really global like explosion of music seems to me like an internet era thing though.
Hmm.
Um I don't know how true that is because I was just part of the coming into music around the internet era. Um yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to, I don't know, get some specific insight about what it meant to have your first sign with a major label in 2007. And I guess one thing connected to some of the stuff I've been saying about like internet music sharing and like whatever is that um, almost all this record like leaked onto the
Hmm.
internet or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, I have no idea how commonplace that was relatively, or whether that would kind of throw you off if, yeah, again,
Yeah.
like yeah,
I
if you
mean,
did feel like you have a lot to prove, go ahead.
yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of examples of that in the 2000s. Like, you know, Atlas Sound, or
No.
yeah, they he kind of it happened to him as well, and he was really like because the stuff that leaked for that album, Logos or whatever, like was not finished. So he really was like, oh, he was really upset that the things that they leaked were not even the finished product. And yeah,
No, that's brutal.
yeah.
And I don't know, the leak story of all time to me is J. Paul in 2013.
Mm.
You know that album?
Yeah,
Um,
he only made one album, right?
Well, yeah, yeah. Or it's like what got leaked was like, I guess, the sum total of a lot of his demos from around then. Like, so many of them sound close to finish. And I think people have speculated that it's like, oh, was this actually a leak or was this just trying to be a viral launch by like pretending it was a leak? I don't know. But much late, like 10 years later, J. Paul came out and did like a real launch and was like, that was devastating. That like put me behind so far. I think
Yeah.
he came onto the internet in like 2022 and he was like, how do you come back from that? Like I didn't get to finish my stuff and it just exploded in this unfinished state. Um no.
Yeah.
This is also kind of close to the time that In Rainbows came out. What year was that? Radiohead In Rainbows.
That was 2007, right?
That I think it was. Yeah, I thought it was a late 2000s odd number. Um
And that one was like a special one because they made it free to download, right?
they made it free and accessible online. So then I don't know, is the question like, oh, was this like a preemptive, like, oh, before it can be leaked?
Yeah, because I
Um,
know that like OK Computer, like so that stuff wouldn't get leaked, they would have like like a cassette player, and you can only
Oh,
play OK Computer on that cassette like player, and it would like yeah, you can't open it for like
it's so
during
funny.
yeah, and
Like, oh, interesting.
mhm.
Like you're saying the review copies were like they had
Yeah,
funny copy, but I didn't know
yeah,
that
it was like
fact.
protected. Like if you opened it, I think it would like I don't know something to do with like it would not work. I guess in that way. Yeah,
Hmm.
and
I don't know. But
yeah, because it's interesting how Animal Collective like reacted to it because when Deacon was like asked like what do you think about like this like they said like you should have leaked the three extra songs or that you guys didn't leak. So that's a funny reaction, and sort of we got
is
like a lot of different stuff about you know our stories I guess in the range of devastating to I guess funny.
right. I guess
Yeah.
they took it in stride. Is this annotation of the four? So you these four albums
Mhm.
on screen. Are you like, wow, this is a crazy four album run?
Yeah,
Or
and I think because I said wow because just Song Tongues is I feel like is a very interesting like
very
album
cool.
because
Hmm.
it's kind of like you can see the shift. I feel like to like Merryweather Post Pavilion, like it's like
Yeah,
changing.
it's the start of the change of momentum. Completely agree.
Hmm.
But yeah. Um, God, I mean, yeah, each of these could just be talked about endlessly. They are very dense, very interesting. To me, like, I still think not a lot of bands sound like Animal Collective.
Yep.
And when I found it, I was like, oh, this sounds like nothing else. But at the time, it was like early in my music discovery, music career, whatever, music enjoying career. So I was like, oh, maybe there's all sorts of crazy shit out here. Not a lot of stuff has topped the instant wow or like some of the really high moments in specifically Strawberry Jam are just like incomparable highs. There's sounds I've never gotten anywhere else.
Yeah, because I think the way you should compare Animal Collective is like in the vein of like just having like fun, I guess. Like bands that have fun.
Hmm.
Like I don't know how familiar you are with the Tune Yards. Like I feel like there's a lot of striking like similarities there, but they just come out in
Like
different
yeah.
ways. I feel like
Hmm. I like Tune Yards. I only know one album. It's the one with the colorful cover. I don't remember the title
who
of it.
yeah Who Kill or whatever.
It's Who Kill. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I know that. That's got some high highs on it too.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's I guess it's the type of high you get from having fun in the songwriting process, having fun in the studio. I feel like I've watched some Animal Collective live set performances, and I feel like the joy is contagious when you see them banging on the drums and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, like yeah, I watched some stuff before this, and yeah, like they're really good live. I noticed like they're as crazy. They show themselves like being crazy in like concert form, I guess. Like yeah, yeah, and before Strawberry Jam, it was Feels, and my question is like, do you think it prepared you for Strawberry Jam?
It's an interesting question. I think they're okay. I think Feels is like a pretty tight thematic record. It has a pretty coherent sound too. Um, like the chorusy guitars as at least like the backbone for that whole album gives it a really interesting unified sound. Not uniform, but like definitely coherent. And then remember the compositions also being like layered,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that the layering in the compositions in Strawberry Jam is um there's a lot more one-off sounds, there's a lot more interruptions, there's a lot more like it's even when like the sonic mouthful is like completely like full already, Strawberry Jam will sometimes just be like Hey, have another sound. Have another screaming, groaning, moan sound effect,
Yeah.
or or sample or something like that. And if I remember correctly, the Feels instrumentation was more about just being like full, like full, and that's it. And
Yeah, very
I
unified, I guess. Yeah.
I hypothesize, even though I didn't go back and do a side by side comparison, that the instrumentation in Strawberry is, yeah, more like, okay, you know, we're full. Let's keep throwing things in and watching it like splash out, and you know, really figure out how much you can fit um
Mhm.
in the composition.
Yeah. And like, yeah, like, do you, but like, if you were like to listen to like if you were there when Feels like came out and then Strawberry Jam came out, like do you still think it would be a good preparation, or do you like,
Oh, it would totally blow my mind. No,
yeah,
it wouldn't prepare me at
yeah,
all.
because that's what I was
um
thinking too. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, yeah. It's right. Um on the other hand, Strawberry Jam completely prepares you for Merryweather.
Hmm.
You could start at Merryweather, and it's a fine introduction to Animal Collective. I don't know. If I was like trying to tell someone how to get into this band, I don't frickin' know how I would do it, because I think every album is different, is focusing on something different, is bringing something different to the table. Um, but yes, I feel like I get what you're hinting at, that it's like Strawberry Jam is like a crazy level up past Feels, or the energy that was bringing.
Hmm.
Um, Feels was subdued on purpose. Like it was trying to be understated, in my opinion. Um, like with the long ass songs on there. What's can't remember if it's Lock Raven, or one where the drums only come in like 4 minutes in. Do you know that one? It's on
um
the latter half, and it's just long.
I,
Probably like the third last song.
yeah, I think it's the song you mentioned, like, yeah.
Whichever one. I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, they're playing so like restrained,
Mm.
so held back.
Yeah,
Strawberry Jam, none of that.
like,
There's that. That
oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
oh, I'm trying to think, like if I use that word like restraint. Like there's some words that are some songs on here that are zero restraint, that are just like relentless energy. Winter Wonderland honestly is like a wham wham wham. And then almost all of them, like even if they start like Cuckoo Cuckoo starts restrained, but like has intense moments. Um Maybe number one is the song with the most restraint, but they're really looking to let
Yeah,
loose for sure on Strawberry Jam.
like if they're doing it like restrained, then they're gonna try to make it like as like, I guess, like crazy as possible, maybe, like, I don't know,
Right?
or
It's
I don't know how
yeah,
to like say that.
I don't think it's uncontrolled. I don't think it's chaotic. Honestly, if I do think that there's like a weakness in these compositions, it's that on the times when it is going for chaotic, it's still very ordered. Like like some of the breakdowns on Cuckoo Cuckoo are like they just could have gone harder. They just like with the drums or things like that. I don't know. It's There's an insane energy getting unleashed at the highest highs of this
Hmm.
album.
Yeah,
Um,
there's higher
the-
peaks on Strawberry Jam compared to like Feels, like it 100%.
mhm. 'Cause, I mean, they're so good at bringing an animal intensity to it. Um, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, and hmm, what can I say about
it's an interesting level up in the chronologies, but at the same time, like Sungtongs and before, we've seen them go crazy. We've seen them unleash screams, shouts, and whatever. Like, do you know Alvin Rowe on Spirit They Vanished?
it? Because that's the first album, and I'm not very familiar with that
Oh,
one.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm, I challenge you or to go back to it or
yeah,
something like
definitely.
that. So much of the DNA of the later albums ends up in there. And I also would love if you got to listen to or appreciate how much they do with voice, toy piano, and messed up electronic noises and like nothing else. And how full they'll make the arrangement sound with like nothing but banging on a toy piano.
Yeah,
Um,
they have really like I don't know. It's really creative, right? Like especially on the Strawberry Jam, like that. Just like watching them because there's this like video where it's like like a little clips of like the songs of Strawberry Jam being made, and like you can see like the
hmm.
skeletons of like for example like Peacebone like with that like intro part, and it's just like there's and then there's like stuff that they'll like put in that I didn't realize like that now, and yeah, it's just really like interesting and creative, right? Yeah. Um. Mhm. And sort of um wait what sorry, I lost my train of thought. What,
We were saying, did feels prepare us for Strawberry Jam? Rhetorical question where both of us agree, just like kind of no. There are elements on here that hit you like a damn train if you're expecting more of the same, like chill guitar led jams
mhm.
from feels.
Yeah. Um yeah, I don't know what to say. Like we can also talk about like Merryweather too,
Hmm.
I guess. Like from that point, that one that one has like the I guess like the lows of Strawberry Jam, I feel like. And not necessarily like the highs that Strawberry Jam brings. I feel
Uh-huh. Um, I kind of like that you phrase it like that. I kind of like that you phrase it like that. There's also, I understand a couple B sides, or maybe only one B side from Jam went onto the Water Curses EP.
mhm.
I didn't listen to Fall Be Kind EP, but yeah, if we were trying to be very comprehensive about like what else was left on the cutting room floor, um, I guess for completionist's sake, we'd have to check out a lot of these little EPs.
Yeah.
For Strawberry Jam ends up pretty darn tight on 9 tracks. That's a nice condensed track listing. It gives a lot of room for it to be cohesive and a lot of these songs to tie together and make tight little song cycles or relate back to one another. I'm very very happy overall that Strawberry Jam is 9 songs long.
Hmm.
People in YouTube comments are often like, I have my playlist that mimics this album, but I also put Safer at the end because that was originally going to be on the album, whatever that means. And it's like, come on, we're so blessed to have a tight 45 minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's just like I don't know. It's a very consistent track listing. I feel
yeah,
like it's
yeah,
it never keeps you like uninterested compared
yeah.
to like some
Uh,
other 40-minute like albums.
yeah, and like you started the Merriweather comparison. I hate to do this, but that album has skips.
Yeah, no,
I
there's
don't
like
do
because
that.
I yeah when I look at like the track listing, there's some songs that they're I don't know they're kind of like it feels like intros to like I don't know or like I don't know they're not my favorite.
This is how people talk about Merriweather, like kind of derisively. They say that it's the one with the most commercial appeal. It's got the one with the best radio hits, and so on. And unfortunately, like, yeah, I mean, it does feel so much more like a collection of songs, some of which are hits, and it's kind of structured around that. I don't know. It just bums me out. I don't like thinking about albums that way, or I don't normally listen to albums that get talked about that way. Maybe that's just biasing me, the fact that everybody is like, oh, yuck, that's their accessible project. And I already alluded to having grown up a little bit with the messed up 4chan culture, for which like accessible is like a terrible, terrible slur, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But it's not it's inconsistent and the inconsistent ones are annoying on Merriweather, which is too bad. and some songs go on too long.
Yeah,
Um,
I cuz my like cuz I like the first song and then My
hmm.
Girls and then what is it? Lion in a Coma. That's like
Oh, sorry, Lion in a Coma is one of my skips, but
really
whatever, right? It
I
is.
love that like that little like breakdown at the end or
Um, maybe I just skip it too often, so I never get to hear the breakdown. Brother Sport, number one song on that freaking album. It's
mm,
so cool for me. Um,
yeah,
and
maybe
then the ones that are very poppy, like, just feels like it's missing something. They weren't meant to be the Beach Boys. They weren't meant to be, oh my God, like MGMT.
mm.
I think they're drawing from MGMT at least a little bit on Merryweather. I don't know if that's possible. If did Oracular come out? I'm gonna Google that real quick because I'd be making a fool of myself. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Oracular Spectacular is 2007, 2008. Um, so the timing lines up, and I can be derisive, and I can compare Merryweather to MGMT.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really know much of MGMT, so I don't really have much to like say about that. Like, could you describe
Do you at least vaguely know, like, do you know their pop hits? What did they, uh, Electric Feel?
like probably,
Ooh,
but no, I
good.
don't really remember.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. But it was like around the nascency of um what was getting on the radio expanding to more electronic
Mm.
influenced things, I guess, like was getting into the pop realm. So like MGMT was a bit of a push force for that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Daft Punk, but I don't know if that lines up. Daft Punk was a little bit earlier, but
What about
like
MIA?
I don't know them that well.
Okay. Uh,
But but like I think around the turn of the 2000s into the 2010s, and maybe to some extent Animal Collective influenced this a little bit, but they were also a little bit riding the wave of this is some other like this is become it's getting acceptable to play My Girls on the radio.
mm.
Um anyways, no. We, I don't know if that's a very fair weapon or very fair axe to take at Merriweather because Strawberry Jam has many radio friendly songs.
Hmm.
Um let me think about how true that is. Reverend Green and Fireworks are both well, okay, fudge. Maybe it's just Fireworks. Like anything with screaming in it is like anathema to a radio station. But this is in Animal Collective's pop era. I don't know. Is that controversial to say? Do you think?
Like for Merryweather?
I'm saying even Strawberry is has pop DNA in
I
it.
mean, yeah, of
What do you
course.
think?
I think it really plays into like noise pop and like
Yeah.
specifically for Strawberry Jam more so.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, like I mean, I always see their stuff as pop, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
like a lot like even like there's like a lot of like allusions to pop music as well, like the Beach Boys, like you mentioned.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I would say yeah, they're definitely there was always pop, I feel like, in there.
It's always been pop.
And yeah, I kind of want to say like I think for me like Merryweather just plays into like the atmosphere as well. I feel like comparatively to Strawberry Jam, like because like you're saying there's like these long-winded like tracks, and I think yeah, like there's that they're definitely playing on the atmosphere or like the vibe that they're trying to go for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's something that I love about Strawberry in particular. Feels, succeeds, sets up like that atmosphere with the sound, with relatively coherent instrumentation, relative thematic consistency, you can basically reduce field in your head at least a little bit to like, okay, this is what it sounds like. Merriweather also definitely succeeds at that in like, and it's got more gloss, it's got more
Very
like
lush.
more synth. Yeah, sweeping neo psychedelia sounds, whatever, water sound effects. Um, Both succeed in having coherent soundscapes. Strawberry Jam succeeds at that, but also has such strong individual songs. And I feel like, and I hope I'm not just biased because I did a deep dive in preparation for this podcast and because it's my favorite and all of these factors. Um, it feels like some of the strongest themes, and I'll talk about themes at some point soon, hopefully.
Hmm.
Um, it's got like some of the strongest individual songs that make an impression, like where hopefully you just remember the whole thing front to back, or at least what it's doing. So I want to say like Strawberry Jam succeeds on both those fronts. It is a an awesome noise pop record that has a sound that it's all its own, and I think the individual songs making up that sound are very very strong.
Yeah,
What's your opinion?
yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I don't know, maybe for me, like, I feel like the songs have more personality than Merriweather does.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay.
maybe because I don't really understand like what they're talking about in Merriweather. I know what My Girls is about, but it's just like I don't know, like it's not very clear what they're trying to like say in Merriweather. But I feel like in
Yeah.
Strawberry Jam, like there's definitely like a clear like there's clear themes. Like I guess like the childhood wonder
Yeah.
sort of,
There
and
is more clarity. I want to pick your brain about lyrics for a sec, because that is. By the way, are there official lyrics for Strawberry Jam? I'm curious because I was using the Spotify feature that puts it at the bottom, which I think just scrapes from some sort of internet thing. But I don't
yeah.
know whether the internet sources are going off like a lyrics booklet or just people's best
Well,
guess. Do you know?
I mean, I have it on vinyl, but there's no lyric sheet.
Oh.
But I think
Oh.
like I mean, I just go on Genius and just find it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
right? Right? I just wonder because I mean, often the lyrics are really buried in the instruments, and it's like the way I was singing these songs in my head for 10 years is not at all what Genius thinks or what
Mm,
Spotify thinks
yeah.
the lyrics are.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
yeah. I
which I mean, I think that that's got a bit of intentionality to it. Like if they needed you to get the specific words to get the song, they would have mixed the song different. I think. Feels, I think it's pretty easy to make out almost every single word on every single song. I think because that album, I think, cares a lot more about like the specific words and stuff. And Strawberry Jam, like, you're singing a lot of these words like weird, like pronouncing words just wrong or weird to make it fit with the song better or fit with the rhythm better.
yeah, I mean, I think in like feels and like song tongs, like I think maybe like the background of like those songs becomes the foreground now in Strawberry Jam.
Mm.
Like I don't know, it's very like in your face in Strawberry Jam. It feels like in some ways, like
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah, like a lot of like I don't know. I think that's why I love about Strawberry Jam is like the way they say like the words. Like in Forever and Green, it's just so good. Like I love the shouty vocals from Avi Terror. And
They You're so right. You're so right that like the fact that they intonate the words like different or wrong or whatever makes them stick in your head so much harder.
yeah, and I love how they play with the like voice in the band. Like in song songs like the I love like the it's like the kitties and then they're like meow or like something like that. And yeah, and they also do that in Forever and Green, which is my favorite song, where it's like they're like beatboxing kind of.
Right. Yeah. There are some lyrics or sounds or whatever that are mouth sounds, mouth noises for sure.
Like
But I love it.
automatically, yeah.
And the singing of the two different registers. I think Reverend Green has this, where it's not just whatever normal screaming and, or excuse me, screaming and not. There's also like quick switching back and forth between like falsetto and normal register.
Mm.
Just more voice play, just more. I don't know, like yeah, I read on Wikipedia that people praised some of the vocal performances as being like greatly improved or something like that. I definitely have friends who like listen to music and care a lot more than I do about whether someone is quote a good singer
Mm.
unquote. Um, it sounds like with you and me and the music that we listen to that's like not really high on the list of things that we're caring about or that we're judging based off of. That being said, it's great singing. It's very functional. They're having fun.
Mm.
It's always in service of the song.
Wait, so you said, wait, what is low on our our like priority list for?
Oh,
So
like
it's,
whether someone has a beautiful voice, you know what
oh
I mean,
no,
or like is a technically good singer.
no, I actually think that's really like, well, I'm not technically, but I think it just has to like, for me it's really subjective for me.
It's subjective.
Yeah, like, cuz I don't know, I just cuz I don't know. I'm not really like a big like lyrics guy, to be honest, cuz
Hmm.
I think it's because of my like don't really have like great perspective on what people are talking about in music. But like I appreciate like when like the things like the way they're saying things, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they have something interesting to say? Like, yeah. It's all I guess just part of being a good artist or like an interesting artist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Voice, great singing. What else were we talking about? I think we left an unfinished conversation thread at just like it's nice that this is a pretty tight 45 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
pretty tight 9 songs. I wouldn't cut any ever, and
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't add any. Like there are I believe 2 songs that are considered unofficial B-sides and it's Safer and I don't know what the other one is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with those
Okay.
B-sides.
But yeah, people are like, "Oh yeah, that's the extended universe of this LP." And I don't know. I love this 9. I
Yeah, I mean, because
can't
they're just all like memorable. I feel like
they're all
they're
memorable.
yeah, they're just all memorable. Like yeah, and they all feel like maybe Forever and Green and Fireworks like in my mind are kind of connected, but I feel like they're kind of all in their own worlds. Like
Ooh, I think that there are a few connected songs. I think Reverend Green and Fireworks are connected. I
hmm,
think Unsolved Mysteries and Chores are connected, and I think Winter Wonderland and Cuckoo Cuckoo are connected.
hmm,
And maybe I'll tell you about the little elements in each of those things that make me think that, or make me think that those are like plausible connections or even intentional. Um, and then the remaining songs are like glue, kind of. Um, Peacebone is kind of the thesis statement of the whole album. Eric also ties it together in such an amazing way.
hmm,
Number one is like an interesting tense interlude, and then that's everything. Like everything's accounted for. Everything has like a good purpose. There's also, if you do bear with me and like the idea of this is like 3 2-song like couplets in a way. They also are spaced out because number one is between the Reverend Green Fireworks pair and the Wonderland Cuckoo pair, and there's like a 2-minute outro on Chores, which is almost entirely instrumental. Um, that is cool. So yeah, I actually I saw some connections between these, not just because I think it's a tight album thematically, and it's like what's being talked about. Like there's a lot of consistency in it, or a lot of repetition, but also just between those adjacent ones. And did you budget time by the way to do like a track by track?
Wait, sorry.
Do
What?
you normally do one? Do you
Um,
normally do a track
mm,
by track
yeah,
chat in these?
I was actually gonna ask you that because I think that would be interesting. But usually,
I,
no. We kind of just like kind of go over like the really key tracks. But I think
okay,
yeah, like I'm down to do one because I think there's a lot to talk about in all of these.
let's
So
try it. This is just going to be a deviously long podcast episode, maybe.
yeah.
We're at the 1 hour mark. Are you good, by the way? Is this an okay pace?
Oh, we're at the 1 hour mark already. Because
Give or
okay,
take.
yeah. Because usually we don't, or like the new ones that I like uploaded, we don't really go that long. So yeah, I'm down to go. Because like the first two were really long, so I'm excited.
Okay,
Yeah,
whichever way we do it.
but let's do more about like the background of this like album, like,
For
uh,
sure.
and then we can go into that stuff. And like, what
Okay,
do you think
so
about?
so
Oh, sorry.
oh my god, the cover art, the cover art, the cover
Yeah,
art's
okay, that's what I was gonna
crazy.
say. The cover art.
Cover
So
art's crazy.
this like the story is kind of like Panda Bear was like looking at like a jar of strawberry jam, and he's I don't know like he's really like in like fascinated with with it for some reason, and that became the cover. Like I don't really know like the details of that. Maybe you can.
I've heard that story. Well, I've heard that story too. I mean, pretty much just from Wikipedia, but I've heard that the story was, yeah, seeing airplane prepackaged jam packet with the peelable top and saying like, "Oh, this is so interesting. It's like prepackaged. It's it got color, but it's also got this like unnatural texture or whatever," and being like, "That's what I want this to sound like." That's a funny inspiration. The cover here is completely at odds with that story. This looks
Hmm.
nothing like airplane prepackaged strawberry jam. This cover is to me way more in tune with the actual music that I'm hearing because it's gory,
Hmm.
gory Jovic. It's creepy. It's unsettling. It looks like rot. I know that's
Yeah.
probably just a fresh strawberry being mashed, but it looks really unsettling to people that I've shown this to, and to me the first time I saw it.
Yeah. I mean, I always like yeah, like when I show this to, like friends, like they see it as like kind of disgusting a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Like yeah, there's
Um,
something I think that kind of
so the
type. Oh,
anecdote doesn't make a damn lick of sense because what the hell is the connection between strawberry like jelly that is smooth and serene and artificial and processed and like what the hell is the connection between that and this album art and the spirit that we've talked about on the album that is like letting out kind of like an animalistic chaos and joy. um like what? Doesn't that anecdote just not fit?
yeah, that kind of there's kind of like a contradiction there, a little bit.
Yeah.
But um, yeah,
I think this is an incredibly like apt album cover for the music that's actually there. And I just think the story is the piece that doesn't really fit. It absolutely could be a true story of like, I don't know, they just didn't know what to call this collections of songs and they just left it up to Panda Bear and Panda Bear saw something funny and was like, sure, this is good enough. But this cover art is like really, I think, in tune with like the uncontrolled elements, the kind of like hostile, like push you away elements, or like specifically the fact that those are supposed to be about having an unsettling first impression, then like actually this would taste good. This is just two fresh strawberries that just got mashed in a bowl. It'd
yeah,
be delicious, I bet. Um, about like I mean like fragility of life, kind of, and it's like I think that's also part of what makes gore in general scary is that it's like it's about like fragility and you see like people walking around and like uninjured bodies in your day to day and you're like yeah I don't even think about that and then like you it's a broken leg and there's a bone sticking out of it and it's like oh my god I didn't want to have to think about the fact that I'm an animal I have bones in me um like it jolts you out of the day to day, and it's unsettling and it's uncomfortable, I guess. It was a really rambly, disconnected series of thoughts, but it's like,
Hmm.
um I don't know, it's a great album cover to me.
Yeah,
um
I always like
but
see it as like I always thought that the strawberries were already like rotten, like, and then they just put it on the plate. And I think I
maybe
don't
they're
know it,
rotten.
like yeah, like that's why like maybe it's not, but to me that's like what like it like
Evokes. I
yeah,
hear you, I hear you.
and maybe that kind of ties into like us like growing older, like and like
Right.
I don't know, like we're gonna become like raw and strawberry jams like soon, I guess.
God willing.
But yeah,
It's no, I think you're right, by the way, to point out that it, yeah, whether they're fresh or rotten, and let's just say they're rotten, it evokes rot. It's supposed to look gucky and yucky.
yeah, and I feel like they're trying to like, but in a way, like in the music, like they're trying to like capture or like or preserve like their childhood or like their I don't know, just like their creativity, like I guess childhood creativity, kind of.
Yeah, it's there's a tension. There's a tension between, I don't know, the organized and disorganized elements, the polished and organic elements. Um, but overall, like, I think the album of music, Strawberry Jam, is resisting being polished and processed and fighting to break out of that in at least some ways. Um, yeah, I mean, imagine the cover art that is like a photograph of packet of strawberry jam. That's a much worse.
Yeah, because
Um,
I always see those like memes of like yeah, like look at this. This is like an Animal Collective reference, and then like the strawberry jam never looks like what it is on the cover.
no, no. Um,
Yeah.
so name's a bit of a mystery to me, but it's like, but we did get banger album art to match both the name and the music.
Hmm. Wait, hold on. Let me turn on my lights real quick because I realize my background is really dark. Here, wait, hold on one second.
Here's another
Oh,
thing.
okay, wait, I'm back. Hello.
Hear me again?
Yep.
Here's
Sorry.
another thing from the universe of Wikipedia anecdotes that I get puzzled by, which is the band saying that this is supposed to be a desert-like album, like a dry desert-like experience. You wrote down fact it was recorded in Arizona.
Hmm. Yeah.
Isn't this album just
No.
wet?
No.
Isn't
I
it just
like.
wet?
Yeah. I don't see. There's that's a paradox. Like, and it's all like that. I feel like they really missed the mark on what they were trying to do. They're but unintentional,
Yeah.
and I feel like it was unintentionally like great for that. So, like,
It doesn't make any damn sense at all. The description of trying to make a desert-inspired album. I don't see it anywhere.
like I even
I don't
like
see it anywhere.
even
It's about like
feels
the
is more so that.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
maybe. I don't know. Sung Tongs. Sung Tongs is no, but even they've got like they're shooting themselves in their damn feet if they're trying to make desert albums and someone in the studio keeps saying, let's put bubbling sound effects, like bubbling water sound effects over this. Um, God, someone's being so mischievous and just ruining their time. They're trying to make desert music. They can't stop with the bubbling sound effects. Oh,
Yeah.
what like yeah,
Mm.
like detuned guitars, like the chorus effect, like that's also something that I think is like, right, that sounds underwatery. Like, anyways, you and I are just in total agreement. Like, no, this is a wet. Yeah. Do you think this is cold wet or hot wet? If you had to pick like a season or weather.
Hmm, that's a
They're
good.
really biasing us by having 1.5 like winter songs, but also, I don't know, fireworks we mostly associate with the summertime, and it's kind of like going outside
Hmm,
more.
like in my opinion, like more so maybe like I don't know.
It's probably an unanswerable question just because like in the song titles there's one called Fireworks, which is generally associated with summer in North America and I don't know, maybe everywhere. And there's Winter Wonder. Like those are just two songs, like in the title of the songs. So I think it's probably resisting being a seasonal album. Um, Strawberry Jam wants to be a summertime album, no frickin' doubt, right?
Hmm.
Sorry, I said Strawberry Jam. I meant Merriweather.
Yeah,
Merriweather
yeah,
wants to be a summertime. Wants to be like, yeah, it's summertime clothes. I just feel like every song is supposed to be like played out of a speaker. Um, yeah,
yeah. Even like the lyrics in like My Girls is definitely like I want to have like isn't it like I want to have like a deck and like a house for my girls like that's like summer definitely like.
yeah, right? Like barbecue music.
Hmm. Yeah, because like there's definitely like parts where it feels cold and like especially like Peace Bone like that. I don't know, we keep on referencing this intro but it just feels really cold to me, and then like
Yeah.
Fireworks and like Forever and Green are like the warm songs. Yeah, like
Hmm.
lots of like contradiction there, which is really interesting.
We know that we agree that one thing it's not is like dry. Uh,
No.
Dry, sandy, dusty, any didn't match. Sorry guys. Terrible album from that lens. Like what? Yeah, very weird. Okay, I'm glad we fall on the same side on on on, yeah, like both these anecdotes. They're a little bit funny. The music just speaks for itself. I mean, we can't let Wikipedia or music journalists or anything tell us how to receive this because the album itself is so damn rich. Yeah,
um yeah, do you want to play a song maybe to get.
we should we should play a song, Jovic.
And you chose, well, oh actually wait, before we there's some reviews here, and generally like it was like reviewed pretty well. Like there's a few like
Yeah,
mid ratings, but other than that like
yeah.
everyone loved it. And
Yep. Keep going.
I don't know. I don't really like the that they like some of these like journalists like made like did like mid like scores, cuz I feel like this album like I feel like you either hate it or like you love it in that sense.
Right. What were you listening to if you thought it was mid? Um, Maybe. I mean, let me think. The perspective that you would think this is mid would be. I don't know. I don't know. How do you get there? How do you
Yeah,
get there? It should be polarizing.
yeah, like I don't. Yeah, that's why I kind of don't like that, like the middle, like taking a middle position on these types of like records. I don't know. Maybe it was more fun to write that way, I guess.
Yeah, maybe so. Um, the closest thing to parts that drag or not being rich or not being like richly interesting, excuse me, for me are like the two song run Unsolved Mysteries into Chores is um I don't think I'd call them unfinished, but it's like what they're saying isn't as clear as some of the rest of the album. I think some of the rest of the album is like very on the nose, direct, thematic, or doing something interesting with the sound palette or sonic collage, or both. And yeah, I don't know. If you only listen to the first half of this album, the first four songs, maybe you'd think it's mid.
Hmm.
Maybe.
I don't know. Even then, the
Especially this spin review that says childlike and childish, because that seems like it could. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very funny comment. because as we've both identified, this is a major part of this album is the way you worded it was like preserving childlike joy and wonder or innocence or something like that. And I guess the way I would word it would be, yeah, like the words I wrote down were nostalgia, and I wrote animal simplicity. I wrote like I feel like they're kind of trying to. I'm gonna wait for like our song by song, if we have the time and energy to do such a thing, to talk about the specifics that make me think this. But it's like, yeah, like what is, I don't know, special or worth preserving about childhood, or childishness or something like that. And I guess it's like the thought or idea that, you know, people are animals, but like animals that like live in a society and evolved funny brains and funny rules and all of these sorts of things. And we really don't like talking about or acknowledging that people are humans and humans are animals. And kids are like more like animals or like more like automatically judging more or like how kids play is different than how adults play.
Like,
How,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I always see like children as like permanently drunk people. Like, very like they're very like honest in that way.
honesty for sure, for
Hmm.
sure. Um, yeah. Song. I want to play Peace Bone.
Yeah. And why did you choose this one? Or did I choose? I don't remember. Or like,
I
yeah.
think it's a great microcosm of the whole album. I think it stands on its own. I think it's got possibly the highest high. Um, and it's the screaming part during, I guess structurally it would be the bridge, the screaming bridge that goes like yata yata
Hmm.
whatever. Holy shit, like the first time that clicked for me, because I think my first few times through this album I was a novice enough music listener that I didn't know what I was listening to, and then it clicked, and then I was obsessed with this album for years.
Yeah.
I think it's a good microcosm of the whole album. The lyrics are nice and clear, and you can make them out like basically 100%. And um, it's a really good microcosm of how the lyrics are gonna be for the rest of the album. It's a great microcosm of what the soundscapes are kind of like. That it is pop and rock with noise and electronic elements, and some serious like folk DNA with things like the chanting. I don't know. I just think it's the album at a glance, or it's like the single song that most um, has everything else that you're gonna hear if you decide to indulge in this album.
Hmm. Yeah. And I have here the like there's I have a homemade video here, so that will be
Yo.
cool. I know that I think there is an official one, but on this podcast, I like to try to find homemade ones because I think it's more cool.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry,
And
someone else's homemade one
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
YouTube. That's fun. That's fun.
And yeah, so all right, you want to play the whole track, or is there a specific part that you would wanna?
How long is it?
It's 5 minutes. Yeah, or like the track is
Okay,
5 minutes.
play the intro, the first verse, and then skip halfway through until we hear the bridge. Um, and then that would be enough.
Do you think you can you cue me in to when you want to stop or
Yeah.
okay?
I'll
Thank
do
you.
that. So start playing it, and then I'll separately figure this out.
Bonefish. Bonefish.
You could skip this verse. Think. A bit there. Yeah, and I think that's it. The rest of it is mostly repetition, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanted the summary of that song, I think we summarized it. I think if you wanted the summary of the album, like so much of it is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I yeah that like I when I first like listened to this album, I remember like I was about to like I was just on my bed and I was just curious and yeah like I put it on and then like when Peacebone played like wow I could not fall asleep after that like I had to listen to it all before I went to bed like it it's just a really strong opener and like not a lot of albums can like grab you in like that really well. Like, yeah.
Even when the pure noise intro, like the really alienating, whatever, computery, bleepy bloopy, hard to get a grasp on, even when that like dissolves into rhythmic guitar playing and the singing, there's so many interjections. I was listening to it like really carefully, and it's like, oh my god, like all of these like just strange groans and moans that are like they're a little bit animal and they're a little bit computer. Um, yeah, it's really defying you to hold on to the structure and follow the singing and the pretty simple melody. Um, Yeah, that I think that was like actually the biggest song that I was alluding to when I was talking about how sonically they're cramming more than there is even space for in there. But it's I don't know, it's good to me because it keeps it interesting. Um yeah, the song is pretty simple. The melody is pretty simple, but it's embedded in all these funny little challenges and mini games to keep your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah, like yeah, because you were saying like how harsh noise like Merzbow metal machine music like those things like I yeah like the that like it's hard because there's no like pop like things that you can like I guess like latch onto to keep you in
right.
there like yeah like I yeah that's and I think yeah it just like it's just good balance of like harsh and like nice I guess for
It
me.
is. The interplay between it is just fun. And it lets you, I don't know, it lets you as an artist be like, okay, I have my commitment to interesting noises and I have my commitment to, I don't know, nice songs are nice. Like some of the nerdiest, snobbiest music people I know will still turn down for Mariah Carey All I Want for Christmas Is You or I don't know. Um Yeah, for a long time I wanted to make music that sounded that walked this line. That yeah, that just had challenging bits and bits that anyone could follow or something like that. That was just like a cool blueprint to me to balance like um um like artistic goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah for me like I noticed that like yeah a lot of like the music I'm enjoying now is very like on that like line of what you were describing like um I guess sorry wait can you say like what you were um like trying to like do as like because you're saying you want to make like art on this line like can you describe that again so I can just get like an idea.
Yeah, I'd like to respect both like a commitment to a sound that is interesting, that makes people go, oh, I've never heard this before, just because I guess that would satisfy my ego as an artist to be like, to want to be interesting or to want to be seen as interesting.
Hmm.
And the other part of my ego as an artist, which is asking me to make something beautiful that anyone would find pleasing, if that makes sense. So the drive to be interesting or seen as interesting, and the drive to be seen as like beautiful, those in music circles and talking about music circles, maybe talking about art in general, maybe sometimes for like very limited definitions of those terms or ideas, those are considered at odds. So it's just like maybe someone's goal could be to try and join interesting and beautiful. I don't know,
Yeah,
just to pick those words.
yeah. Like yeah, so that would tie in, like because I think yeah, the music I like is like exactly what you said. Like for example, let me just get it. Like oh, this is not the right record. Oh, where is it? Like for example, like White Light, White Heat by the
Hey.
Velvet Underground. Like I man, is the song like they're just so beautiful, but there's also like the interesting parts where like Lou Reed will like jump on like for no reason just to say one word while John Cale sings. Like stuff like that and like just the
I
noise.
literally know the moments you're talking about.
Yeah,
In is that in
late
Sister Ray?
no, that's in
Oh my god, that's
Lady Godiva's
that one.
Operation. Yeah, like it that I think that album might be one of my like favorites of all time. It's just really like amazing. And yeah, like because like the interesting parts of that one is because or the interesting parts of that album is because it's messy for me.
So true.
Like
Yeah.
there like I the production on that album is insane. And like kind of like I guess Strawberry Jam, but maybe but like I guess like also the production is just really like nice in Strawberry Jam, but it's also a balance between that and being messy as well. There's a lot of messy parts in Peacebone, right? So
Velvet Underground is a great one to bring up. They cut their teeth as a rock group that's able to make good rock songs in the late 60s, when it's like your contemporaries are also like, I don't know, you can't really put art as competition, but a lot of your contemporaries and influences are also like speaking this language of rock and whatever. And Velvet Underground Banana album,
mhm.
self-titled, right?
Yeah, and Nico, I guess.
Um,
Yeah.
that's right. Has plenty of, I don't know, conventionally written rock songs that just have like a couple little things off kilter about them. I think it's a very, very good comparison as far as the spirit of writing a good pop tune and kind of just giving a sly wink to the listener, I guess. Um, in a way, that's a very different approach, to be honest, than Animal Collective, which is arguably the opposite. It's not really like a sly wink to the listener, like Velvet Underground heroin, like, this is subversive, this is quirky, we're only going to use two chords. Um,
Hmm.
it's the opposite, where on the face of it, it's challenging, and you just kind of got to strip that away and be like, right, here's the rock song underneath.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, they're presenting slightly opposite things, like on their face, I guess, with respect to yeah, complexity or being challenging or whatever.
Um. Yeah. Do we have anything else to add on that? I. Yeah.
What's
It,
the second song we're in the mood to play? If you want to stick to two.
yeah. Usually we play it at the end, but we can also just do it now.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, I honestly do it at the end. Do it at the end.
yeah.
It's more appropriate for. We said, I think we agree we should do Derek
And
and
yeah,
just play the whole damn thing,
so
please.
because you wanted to do what is it like a track by track. So do you want to go to like how do you want to do that? Because I have
Start. 2, 3. Oh, let me look at
because
your screen again.
because I have topics here that we could do if we're not doing track by track. And but
Ah,
we kind of like touched on it a lot in like the start. A lot of my topics.
decent amount of these. The vocals, the world, connections between the songs. What's it about? Let's talk about what it's about, because that's another like global thing. And yeah, you
Uh,
lead. I have loads and loads of. I have pages and pages, which I will not apologize for. You
mm,
lead. What's the album about?
well, yeah, like it's kind of like weird because for like the in general, it always feels like because like I said like preserving childlike wonder, but I think more importantly like the it goes into like the stories of like I guess like the song Unsolved Mysteries. That one like touches a lot about like the like childhood aspect, right? Like
Mhm.
um let me can I pull up the lyrics of this?
Nay,
What is the song? Unsolved
totally
Mysteries.
agree. That's someone way the most about childhood or growing up too fast.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like he like in that song, like he kind of like describes like his like a baby like in the start, right? Like oh look at me, that sweet boy's plea, and like his child like tied his laces, like sort of like going into like that those like memories, I guess. I don't know what I said in the start, but yeah, like in the memories, I guess. And then I'm not sure. Maybe you can add on this, but I don't really get like the Jack the Ripper reference there. That one always
Um,
kind of made me like
it's a stumbling point. I'm with you there. It makes well, oh, maybe that's the unsolved mystery of the song is what is that or what happened?
mm,
Um, I directly connect whatever the hell that means, Jack the Ripper, to chores, where there are not very many damn lyrics in chores. Memorable one is now I've got these chores, I'm never gonna hurt no one.
mm.
And when at last my work is done, etc. Like, so what's meant by it? If a big part of this is childhood innocence, um, this is the one I probably spent the most time just thinking about. The lyrics today. The first track is Peacebone, and I think Peacebone comes down negative on an obsession with the past.
Yeah, it's like a dead fly. Like I guess like they're kind of like saying like a dead fly like it's not like important, I guess, in that way like
Where it goes nowhere. I'm not overall. Yeah, if we're trying to answer the question, what's this album about? The strongest clues for me are Peacebone saying, like, really clearly saying an obsession with the past is not something to latch on to.
but like
Um,
they're kind of going into the obsession with the past like with these
well,
like
yeah,
next
why must we move on from such happy lawns? Um, so maybe how to take that is why must we move on? Means like move on from the true reality of experiencing it into storing those childhood things as memory and feed on the traces, which is, I guess, like that your memory is going to be imperfect, that you're always going to be chasing um, the unattainable, like real experience that could only have happened once, like your
Yeah,
child
maybe
tying his laces.
yeah, maybe it's about the dangers of nostalgia, maybe.
I think a decent amount, yeah. Um, who could look at me with one eye, who could look at me with no eyes, with the inner eye. Eric reference. Whoa. Who should I please is really interesting. Cause who should I please? Like, do I hop to the dance or not? Really does sound like it's like from the perspective of a child. Maybe it's from the perspective of someone reliving their memory as a child of not knowing what to do. Um, it's a little
um
all over the place, but the closest thing to an interpretation here is, by the way, I mean, yeah, you're totally right to single this one out. It is the most references in the whole album to being child or innocence or good childlike memories. I'm really latching on to the interpretation that it's like when you reduce your experiences to their memory form and I don't know though. This song doesn't have a ton of gas for that particular interpretation.
of sorry, the interpretation of
Of
like what?
the interpretation of like the darkness or destructiveness
Of
of
nostalgia? Or
of nostalgia. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. Like yeah, it's kind of hard cuz I mean, even in like um what was it like for Reverend Green, it's like like he'll only be a friend if he touches your breast or something like that. I don't know, like that one always like intrigues me, like why. Because I guess it's sort of like to you don't want to like treat people as like objects, right? And like
Right.
and you want to like actually have like a real connection with these people and not sort of just like doing stuff that is like weird.
Yeah.
And like how does
Yeah.
that tie into like the theme there? Like I guess like I don't know. Like I guess that kind of goes into the like childhood, like you like learning from like your the early stages of your life, I guess.
Yeah, true enough.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
even
think this album is about 9/11. I think this album is
okay.
about um nostalgia, alienation, animal simplicity, and affection and relationships with other people. Uh, I think if I had to tie all this together into like a story or a sentiment or imagining that I'm the voice of the songwriter and I'm just telling you like what's on my mind, that it's like it's messed up to live in a society, to have memories, to have all these experiences, and it's all very complicated and stuff like that. And to be kind of imbued with a soul, but everything dies, and that's scary. So a little bit of existential fear. And it's like you're only on this goddamned earth for a very finite number of years. And it's like while you're there, it's incredibly challenging to know what to do as the very complex human machine with memories and relationships to other people and all the expectations and feelings of alienation. I think there's a very heavy alienation theme among some of our favorite songs like Reverend Green and Fireworks. You get caught up in all that shit, and then Derek brings you back home and snaps you out of it, kind of, and gives you an answer to the existential questions of what am I supposed to be doing here? What's going on? And the answer is like, um, you know, do your best and be full of love and connect with people and be more like Derek, um, who isn't a very complicated creature. He never woke up at night, and in the morning he's ready to go. Holy shit! It, it's like I think one of the things the album is about is like that all this stuff, like getting caught up in your own head, is a really major distraction from life and love.
And from
Getting
yeah,
caught up in getting really caught up in like fear about things and memories and nostalgia and an obsession with the past, that it's all kind of like very dead end. And I think the album is about living in the moment and being present.
yeah, and like yeah, like being
um
in the moment, and like instead of like keeping yourself like in love with these like memories that you might not like, or like I don't know, like
yeah,
that
yeah.
you won't
for
really
for
like experience again.
for Reverend Green is for sure about like things being kind of temporary. um and yeah, it's all right that we're together now. Like that relationships and connections with other people, I guess, can be a solace or like a sense of relief from that. Fireworks is like about um like the sensation of life and living and going to events and the sacred night and stuff like that all being very overwhelming. I think fireworks is supposed to be like, were the fireworks last night? Now it's day. I've been trying, etc. But like really powerful like immediacy of certain memories and experiences, and that it's like, yeah, I don't know. You still gotta rise to it. You still gotta be there. You still gotta yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe instead of reminiscing, like to create new memories. That's what I was like thinking.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, and always like I guess like changing as a person, like and all that, improving
So
yourself, I guess.
so that's my answer, at least, is that it's an album about living in the moment and being more like an animal, loving fully and simply and keeping sight of what's important. Um, Stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm sort of like, now that you're like describing it, like I'm sort of on that like train now, because I would like for some reason like I always thought it was like a celebration of the past, but like it's not really, right? Like when you go into the lyrics, I don't know. I just never really deep dived it like how we're doing it. So that's it's amazing. Like yeah, I don't know.
I'm having fun if you're having fun. Don't let me influence it too much to tell you that picture of it. Because maybe it sounds like my takeaway is like conflicts with your takeaway a little bit. And it really doesn't have to be the case. I'm actually interested in you telling me more about what you see that kind of like elevates or like does treasure, I don't know, preserving. Right, like strawberry jam, like preserves. Like jams and jellies are called preserves. What do you think? What else did you pick up on that is, um, yeah, I don't know, wistful or is more positive about preserving the past?
Hmm. Like I don't know. Like I guess it always like honestly like sometimes this album like reminds me of like vaporwave kind of, and like
Hmm.
sort of like hypnagogic pop stuff like that. Like I it's sort of like in that realm of like Cindy Lee, if you know who she is, or
I do know Cindy Lee.
like yeah, like I don't know. I always because it always like because when I think about like preserving the past, like I always think about for this album, like I always think about like the instrumentals and how
Mm,
it it always like especially on like fireworks, it always like emits that certain like vibe to me that it feels like a memory or like
yeah, that's cool. That would be cool if you picked up on this. Yes, yes, yes. The instrumentals are tap into something crazy deep in my psyche that is like, oh, like why does this sound like my memories of being 9 or something? Like it's uncanny. It's
yeah.
uncanny what they do with some of these instrumentals with, I guess, pretty simple effects. The one that for me, I don't know, I would just find like sounds scattered all throughout this thing that I'm like, how did you pull that out of my memories? That's creepy. For me, it was like the piano line in Cuckoo Cuckoo, but
Mm.
it's just like there's a bunch of these things that are crazy good at emulating a sound that I would just describe as just personally nostalgic, and I'm just like,
Yeah, and especially
yeah,
that music video for fireworks is a really good one. Like,
I don't know it. I'll look at it later.
yeah,
But what happens in it?
it's part of. I don't. I know it like because I feel like that it like is in the night like setting, kind of, and
Mm.
yeah, and there's just like all these like flashing like lights, and I'm pretty sure there's also like fire in that one too. It's been a while, but yeah, that music video is amazing, especially, and it definitely enhances the experience that I was saying in that way. Like yeah, and I also think this is a very like visual album, even though there's no music
Mm.
videos, like not a
Mm.
lot of music videos, but like I feel like if you were to like like I think this would be like a CD plus DVD like set. You know what I mean?
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I because I also have another homemade video for Derek,
Oh,
and
I'm so excited for that.
that one, yeah, like that would be definitely like an Animal Collective music video for sure. And yeah, um, wait, let's go back to my slides here. Forgot about that. Yeah, do you have anything else to add, maybe, or
Those are my. I feel like I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours in. I have. We're finally ready to go. We're finally ready to go into the songs. No, I feel like I said everything I wanted to say. That's like whole album scale about the patterns. The themes that I picked up on are the ones that resonated with me the most strongly. Um, what I'm interested in, just once in a while there'll be a little, because like some of the themes and repeating elements and ideas can come across as a little bit like self-absorbed or solipsistic, um like yeah, just existential worries are in general, it's like embarrassing if you just write songs about like being scared of death and stuff like that. um so there's like a lot of moments of like, well, what do I do when I'm scared of death or when I'm anxious or confused or whatever? In Peacebone, there's one reference to what I'm calling the affection theme, like just loving other people, which is taste of your cooking can make me fall on the ground. Um, Unsolved Mysteries, there are light lyrical references, I think, to like wanting to feel seen. Look at me with those inner eyes, etc. Um,
mm-hmm.
Reverend Green also has like "It's All Right That We're Together Now."
Well, I think
Um,
yeah.
Fireworks is a great one, by the way. Sorry,
Oh yeah.
which is the bridge, which is the change up, which starts. I've been eating with a good friend who said the
Mm.
genie made me
Because
out
the
of the earth's skin, etc.
yeah.
It's a really cool one, and it's yeah, it's like I think there are little nuggets throughout of like this isn't just AV Tear's existential nightmare. This is like, how do what do we naturally reach for when we're scared and panicking? And I guess it's like connection with other people.
Hmm.
That was almost, yeah, and Cuckoo Cuckoo, which is like the most like a meditation on death and helplessness. Um, the singer says, "All I want's one favorite song," and "Where's my mom?" and "Where's my friend? I want to hold him tight." And yeah, it's that's just another repeated nugget. It's not really focal at any of these compositions, I don't think, is like connection with another person, but it's what keeps being repeated is like a this is important, this is worth prioritizing, like this is worth falling back on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is definitely like a really important theme. Like, because it's kind of like like to the solution to like obsessions with the past. And yeah, like
Yeah.
we're kind of like repeating that, like yeah, like just creating new memories with these people, like now before like one day they'll be gone and you won't be able to make these memories anymore. And yeah, and yeah, like yeah, like I'm curious because I think that's a probably the main one in my opinion. Like definitely,
Hmm.
because I don't really I don't know, I don't really see like anything like other like solutions to that like issue, I guess.
Yeah, right? I agree. It's the closest thing to an answer that it has. Um, to the question, like, how do I live in the moment? I Because that's what I think Eric is about. And it's just a crazy songwriting trick, by the way, that the line that's gonna like break you or make you cry on your second listen is like really close to the beginning of the song, which is should have taken better care of him, but he had it okay.
Hmm.
That's that's crazy. Derek is yeah, how do you live in the moment? I don't know. You take good care of the people and creatures around you. You just do your best.
Hmm.
You try and remember to be present because when you're looking back, it's just going to be painful. You're going to be thinking of, oh, I should have taken better care of him. I wish I'd uh, been willing to help out with all
Yeah,
the things that
like
a dog like you needed. Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah, like you don't want to like make those like mistakes and then worry about them. Like you
Derek
want
is
to be
such a
there.
powerful song.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
Jovic, Derek is such a powerful song.
it's a really good one. I I do love it. Like especially that end breakdown is really interesting where
Yeah,
it like plays the beat, the electronic beat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I but I don't really know what he's like like I think who sings that AV Terror? Like he like repeats something. I'm not sure
Hmm.
what.
I completely believe the official lyrics breakdown of this, and as soon as I heard it, as soon as I like read it, I was like, oh, for sure, that's what it is.
Is it? Oh wait, what do you? Oh yeah. Okay. So it's a he repeats like what do you? What do you? What do you?
And
Right?
it's different parts of like the sentence. What do you see when you see inside of me? It's just chopped up.
Hmm.
So it's like so I guess it's speaking to Derek. What impression did you have of me? What did you see in me? Like how what did you make of the fact that I was a creature taking care of you but often like preoccupied with other things? I guess it's the idea that like the animal or the child like may not fully understand you or what you're saying or what you're doing, but because they don't understand, they get like a more true impression of you or what you're doing. I think it's playing with that idea. Is like to see like the true version of you, like just the idea that kids are animals, like get a more true impression um, than an adult with a full understanding, just
Mm.
because they don't understand the context. Derek didn't know why the singer was preoccupied with other things at the time, but still just had dog love and a dog impression of things. Um, yeah,
And that
that's what the
he,
breakdown is.
yeah, and he, yeah, like even though like these things like happen, like he's still like there and trying to like you know, I guess
To me, yeah, count on me is like a promise. It's like a promise. Count on me to have learned this,
mm-hmm.
and to just act with act more simply or with more straightforward love or something the next time. It's a crazy sentiment.
And maybe like and not like maybe there's another lesson in there like maybe like don't, maybe not to judge people or like hold grudges on people for what they done in
Big
that way.
time. Big time. Mm.
So I guess yeah, that would be like because that would be like another like solution to not like or to combat like nostalgia is to like forgive, I guess,
Oh
and
yeah,
move on.
I love that comment. Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm. Sorry,
And
is the cat coming through on the microphone?
yeah, it is. It's fine. I
He's a talkative creature.
it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Do you want to maybe? Do you want to close with the song or?
Yeah, why don't we just do that? Because I think I said my most interesting couple things. I'm just gonna hit you with a couple before we start getting ready to close. I'm gonna hit you with a couple like just like random notes from my most focused listen through.
Mhm.
Okay, I've loved this album for like 10 years, and I just this week counted counted time in Reverend Green, and it's in 7/4. I did not know. It is the
Mm.
best disguised 7/4 song I've ever heard. Did you know?
No, I for me like I don't know. I never really think about the time signatures that much
Well, yeah, no, but like so many songs are written
in
with the
full.
most inoffensive ones, or ones that you won't
Hmm.
notice or won't think are off kilter.
Yeah,
Um,
it always that's actually a good point because that that one always had for me because it's my favorite song. That one always had the most interesting rhythms with like Panda Bear. Like his drums are just really nice, and then I don't know, like oh
she's fine. I'm just picking her up.
yeah,
She just
yeah,
wants attention.
yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Yeah, and like yeah, like what was I gonna say? Like yeah, paired up with like AV Tear's like really like nice like vocal like harmonies, melodies. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good like detail to point out. That like
It's it is impressive how well it works rhythmically. Because in my head, I was like, oh yeah, this is like a straightforward kind of like driving rhythm song. And I just didn't think about it beyond that. And then I just counted it out for the first time. I was like, holy crap, they're just they're robbing us of an extra of an extra beat every 2 bars. Um, I didn't even notice. I I don't know. Yes, I do fall or align totally with you in that it's just like right. I mean, like the technical details of how a song is achieved are not always like at the forefront of my listening mind. Um, and like honestly, like sometimes a weird time signature is like a gimmick, right? Or like a
mhm.
haha, look how cool we are to have done this.
Math rock.
Um, I I love yeah, math rock. I low key fault Broken Social Scene for calling the song 7/4. Like, don't even
Oh,
bring attention to
Shoreline.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't even. It's fine. Just let the song speak for itself. You don't gotta impress everyone that you can play in 7.
That's always because I remember as a kid that that song always played on like one of the channels on CBC. That song.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's funny. No, yeah, I looked it up and found out that like the intro is a CBC jingle.
Yeah, yeah, as a kid, that was a good one. Yeah, yeah, like it's like kind of like I don't know. I keep on like bringing this up. It's kind of like a Radiohead joke in that way. Like, look at us do this thing. Isn't it interesting and like unique that we put our song in seven
Radiohead's
four?
guilty. Radiohead's guilty of that for frickin' sure. Um, Reverend Green doesn't bring attention to it, and yeah, maybe most people who listen to it, like it is so well constructed and works really well with that rhythmic format. I bet most people who listen to that song don't even notice that it's doing a funny time signature thing. You didn't, and it's your favorite damn song on this album.
Yeah, even like even though like this album like instrumentally is like really weird. Like, it's not snobbish at all. Like, it's not like telling you like how to listen to this. Like, I don't know. It really
Yeah,
really
sometimes there's
nice.
just a weird instrument. Peacebone, which we played, has like steel drum in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the steel pan, like with the you know that instrument?
Um.
Like it's kind of like a Hawaiian sound almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Like steel pen. Like,
Instruments are interesting.
yeah.
Once in a while, they'll do what like just a chorused finger picking guitar, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's the feels instrumental, or it's just like a feels sound. Like they've got some fallbacks in terms of um, sonic palette and the instruments and whatnot,
You
but
know,
sometimes they'll just pick something that fits but is weird, like I'm saying, like the steel drums in Peacebone.
yeah, for like the guitars in Animal Collective are for me are really like weird. Like, I never noticed them. It always like fuses into what like like just like the background for me. Like, I don't know. It I never really think about like the guitar playing in Animal Collective
Yeah, yeah,
songs. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah.
When it's there, it's for sure super yeah, processed, layered, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just going through like my interesting notes while we're talking about Reverend Green. Um, I don't know what I think about. I think some of the lines that seem like social commentary esque lines are a little bit clumsy.
Mm.
I think so. The ones that I have picked out are eating lots of vitamins for your health. Um, bulimic vegetarian wins weight contest. I don't know what a weight contest is, Jovic. I don't think it's a real thing. I
Mm.
think I and the other line is like 1,000 wasted Brooklyners all depressed. That one's the least offensive to me. But there are these kind of lines in Reverend Green about like the state of the world, or things about the state of the world that make the songwriter say, I don't know, isn't this ironic? Shout out Alanis Morissette, or things that make the songwriter be like, this is a disturbing thing about society. Um, it's I'll invite you. What's your take on it? On those three lines, basically: eating lots of vitamins, bulimic vegetarian, wasted Brooklyners all depressed.
Yeah, that I mean, yeah, that's a hard one. Like, I mean, maybe like it kind of like goes into like I guess like the like processes like you were saying like I guess like strawberry jam like what is it like the pre-packaged like strawberry jam is like very like artificial. And wait, can you say those three lines again to so I know
Okay,
the
so eating lots of vitamins for your health. Bulimic vegetarian wins weight contest. 1,000 wasted Brooklyners all depressed. They're three different lines, like
yeah,
scattered
yeah, yeah.
throughout the verse.
Like, sort of like saying like these like institutions like that are like trying to like promote like these things like vitamins or like or I guess like being like vegetarian. I don't know. Like maybe like in reality, like these companies like really like what's in the food they can decide like or like what's in the vitamins. I don't know. Something along the lines of that, I guess, to
Yeah,
me.
I probably read it the same. It's yeah, I think my judgment of it as like corny or clumsy is whatever, it's one thing. But yeah, the interpretation, I think I'm coming to the same thing you are, that it's like these things that are built up aren't doing people any good, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, or things that are both about like a built up complex composite polite society and things associated with growing up like depression and taking vitamins.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
maybe sort of like because those can connect definitely like because like maybe because those things like I guess like in society like being like vegetarian and like taking vitamins like it feels good to like do those things maybe like because we think it will like help you but and then it kind of like the third line is like 1,000 Brooklyners are all now like depressed like it's sort of like saying like maybe there's like a lie there in that way if you like put
right.
those together.
Yeah, all that together. So yeah, Forever and it's got a lot of, for me at least, the biggest like lyrical clues to the theme I identified. That's kind of like a primitivist thing, or kind of like a return to monkey type thing of yeah, like life being overwhelming, and that the things that we're chasing like don't feel worth it, or like the systems we're participating in.
Yeah.
Um, Other random notes. I wrote down I'm only all I see sometimes, which is the whatever climactic line in Fireworks. That it's very strict. So remember Taste from Merriweather Post Pavilion?
um
Taste is the
yeah
one where the line is, "Am I really all the things that are outside of me?"
yeah, that one.
It's weird to me that they reworked or redid this because they said it so fucking well in Fireworks. Fireworks is so good that it's weird to me that they made another song. Like they were like, maybe we didn't say this loud enough or something like that.
Mm.
And then made Taste like with just the same theme and basically the same hook. Um, Fireworks is really cool. Fireworks is like, is it the lead single? Do you know?
The lead
It's the most.
singles, it was Peace Bone, right? And
Oh,
then
was it? Okay.
um yeah, I only know I know for sure that Peace Bone is. But for the I think
Word.
maybe it's Fireworks and Plus One.
Okay. Fireworks was like Fireworks is the single song. If I had to show, honestly, if I had to show someone one Animal Collective song, yeah, I don't know, maybe it'd be My Girls, but I'd like to think it would be Fireworks. Fireworks is a very cool, approachable one. I feel like I have an internet friend who it's like, yeah, that's the only Animal Collective song on their iPod. Um,
Yeah.
it's a really good standalone one, basically.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
that one like yeah, it's not really like I love that song, but when I think about like Animal Collective and Strawberry Jam, like I don't really think about that song that much.
Interesting.
Maybe because
I guess
it doesn't feel
the
like
things that it.
it's more like
You go
late.
first. Sorry, I must be speaking. Ah, shit. We've got like a perfect internet delay. It
So
lines up with the human speaking delay. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Um, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I always like because that one for me is like because when I listen to it on vinyl, it's it's the one where like okay, like we got all like we got through like the first like four or like five or whatever, and like they're all like really intense, and then like it's more like the chill moment in,
Really?
yeah, for me, I think like,
Is it? I feel a lot of like catharsis during fireworks, during like the really climactic line, during the like "I'm only all I see sometimes."
yeah,
Can you tell me on vinyl, is it on side one or side two?
I think it's on side, well, because there's two discs, so it would be
What?
it would be the last song on side B. Because yeah, like that. Because when I like play
I don't
through
know
the,
how much music fits on a vinyl, apparently. That's embarrassing. So is it disc one, side B? What's on it?
so disc one side B is Forever and Green, and then Fireworks at the end.
Oh, just those two.
Yeah,
That's so interesting.
yeah, because like maybe it's just a difference of like listening to it on like digital or CD or whatever. But like yeah, because when I listen to stuff on vinyl, it's like I think more of like the tracks that are like, I guess I don't know. Not necessarily
I've
that like digital make, I know it kind of does though. It kind of forces you into that like everything kind of like um flows together. And
what
then
so
on,
I have another vinyl question then. Are for the second disc, are Winter Wonderland and Cuckoo Cuckoo on different discs? Or different sides?
oh shit, okay, let me just put this to the side. They, so yeah, Derek and Kukuku are on side
Oh.
D.
Well, this was a digital album first.
Mm.
So, like, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
bet the structure of this was not necessarily planned with the vinyl two disc pressing in mind.
hmm, yeah, I mean for sure, right? Well, yeah, I mean they
But
try to
still
they're,
interesting. No, you go first.
well, I don't know. In my mind, it does make sense because it's like I like the separation. Like fireworks is like the like, I guess the bridge to the next like part. I feel like because I just separate that part with like the first like songs up until fireworks, and then the last half.
That's interesting. I have a different like mental map of the album in my head where it's like, Reverend Green and Fireworks are very closely coupled,
Mm.
and I think it's like an interesting structural choice to put two centerpiece songs of your album back to back like that, but also both kind of have like a driving energy. I think that it's more common when you're designing your track list to split up your what I'm calling centerpieces, where it's like you're saying the things you need to say super loudly.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't know, like the songs you like believe in the most. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying when I say centerpiece. So the two songs also I think are the strongest in sharing the alienation and anxiety kind of theme.
Hmm.
Reverend Green, we were just yapping a bit about lines that are contrasting um, the running child, careless child, camping child, lucky child, don't know how lucky he is, etc. Like with I don't know, like built up adult society with such scary constructs as vegetarianism. Um, and oh my gosh, right? The lyric in Reverend Green. Sorry, I wrote this down. It's all right to feel inhuman. That's as clear as it gets. And then Fireworks saying, "I'm only all I see sometimes." People greet me, I'm polite. By the way, that line sticks in my head so much. Um, I don't know why. It's like a really joyous like I'm polite. It's all I can do, I guess, or something like that. Like it's such a funny line, and the way he sings it is really really unique. Um, says whatever. My mind is tired. The idea of getting overwhelmed. Like yeah, the I think they share a driving spirit I think they're the cent the mo the like the centerpiece. They're just positioned in the center. There's 9 songs, and this is song 4 and 5, and they're both about feeling ill at ease with the state of the world at large, or like
Mm,
doing your best to try and confront it, but being really conscious of that tension. Um, Reverend Green is more like a spitting at it or feeling sick of it, because like I feel like anger in the refrain of Forever in Green,
mm-hmm.
like the singer is like making fun of like a societal tendency towards nostalgia, or like a yuck, how dare you revere um this image of the past that's like preserved weird, and still grow up and make this messed up adult society with all the wrong
Mm. And then kind
priorities and
of
stuff.
like
Like,
fireworks is like the acceptance of that being the reality.
yeah, or exactly where my thoughts were going is that it's confronting it, figuring out how to do your best through it. Um, yeah, they're just such both strong tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me they're so together. I'm really happy that they're on the same side of this particular vinyl pressing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
also, like, yeah, there's a beautiful transition.
I
The
mean, yeah, like it all make like yeah, because I agree it should connect because in my mind also it's one song too. I don't yeah like I don't really because like when I was thinking about lyrics like I I'm like is it on fireworks or is it on Forever and Green kind of well when you were like
Yep.
showing examples so in my mind like yeah they should be together as the centerpieces or as one I guess in my mind.
I'm pivoting to just another random note through my notes. You have to put up with me going through my notes.
No, it's all good.
Did you end up Did you end up listening to the song I sent you that was, I think it was Steve Reich? It was remember, like, the it was like the longer 20-minute thing. It was Philip Glass.
Mm.
You remember?
No, I think it was someone else. It was like a very it was like it felt like a radio
Oh my god, no,
station.
Terry Riley. Terry Riley. Sorry, I always get the three of them mixed up, but they were people who did like um experimental music compositions in, I mean, it'd be hard for me to peg them all with a decade, but those names I said, like Steve Reich, Philip Glass, um
Steve
um
or Philip Glass is the
Terry
piano
Riley.
guy, right? Kind of.
I am sure he's, yeah. um I understand you're a bit of a Brian Eno fan. I think he traveled in the same circles.
Oh,
And then
okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk
there was also
about Brian, in the next
I saw,
episode.
yeah. Is it true that it's the quadrilogy of the ambient albums is what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about all of them.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
the hardest one is probably gonna be three, but we'll try on that one because that one is a whole different world.
That's impressive. We're getting off topic, but I adore Volume 1.
Yeah.
And the others, it's a pretty big drop off for me afterwards, but that's really cool. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That goes well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
um, the song I sent you, so for listeners of the podcast, it was You're No Good, or You're No Good, or whatever, and it's a Terry Riley composition, and it's like I am obsessed with it. It's like apocalyptic synthesizers, and also um just a little Terry Riley-ian music experiment of like phasing audio, of starting a song and then another copy of the song like a few beats apart, and then
Mm-hmm.
just letting them desynchronize, and the kind of disorientation or whatever. Anyways, I just wrote down that number 1 reminded me of those phased composition experiments,
Mm. Yeah.
um, because the synth line is out of step with the drums. So the synth, like, it's like a fraction of a beat longer, so it just loops around relative to what the beat is doing. Um, just commenting on just that's in the music and it's like a fun sonic experiment. I consider it like kind of like a callback to classics of experimental music, or just old school sound experiments. It's a the fact that it's the one looping arpeggio
Yeah.
the whole song and it never like resolves to anything, to me contributes a ton of tension. I wrote down tension and release and then I crossed out release because the whole time I was listening to number one, I was expecting it to like resolve to a nice chord and it just freaking doesn't. It just fades out. Um, it's interesting. It's I mean thematically you could draw the connection to, you know, like anxieties and limited catharsis and that you can only do so much to escape it. Yeah, Spotify has lyrics for number one, but I have they're so warped.
Yeah,
You mentioned vaporwave. Number
yeah.
one is like the vaporwaviest for sure.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, that one, like, yeah, it's a hard one because yeah, I don't really know what is going on. That one, like, if we're gonna do a deep dive on that one, or I don't really know what's going on in that track. I would have to. I just like in my mind, it's just really like I don't know, like just a experiment, like how you were saying, experimental.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's dreamlike. It's dreamlike. I think,
Yeah.
and it's also preparing you for songs that are going to be less grounded and more dreamlike. Like Winter Wonderland, Cuckoo Cuckoo. I pair them together. I think that they're Winter Wonderland in the lyrics is very heavily about fantasy or fantasizing, and Cuckoo Cuckoo is like I described it as a meditation on death. So these are relatively ungrounded songs, and yeah, number one as the lead into those, I think is very effective. The same way that like the last 2 minutes of Chores is a crazy good lead into Reverend Green. If next time you listen, you want to give that a focus, it's I think it could have been chopped or just labeled a different track is like the ending part of Chores that is still Chores, but it's more serving to, yeah, I don't know, wipe your slate a little bit for I'm sure you know the intro to Reverend Green by heart, which is like
Hmm.
um the last track ends with like these watery wet guitars and then Reverend Green has like the scary mumbling and then
Dun,
it's
dun, dun,
burr,
dun.
burr, burr, burr,
Yeah,
burr,
yeah,
burr. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
I
crazy intro to a song. The transitions on this album are great. They're great.
yeah.
Transitions and the structure and the balance and how certain songs like set you up for other songs.
Yeah, and like even though like yeah, because in Merryweather like Post Malone like it just feels like they're all like it just like is one like track like or it all flows. But like even though these songs like feel like they're like their own like personality, like there's still a flow to it.
Totally agree.
On
Yeah,
like
good flow, and they know how to play well with each other.
mhm.
Unlike
Yeah, unlike Merryweather, like in that way, like the flow part. Yeah. Um.
um, I had some stuff written about Winter Wonderland about like there were only a couple occasions on this album that like set up a character. Unsolved Mysteries is one where it's like Unsolved Mysteries and Chores feels like there's a excuse me, it's not necessarily songwriter singing to you, it's like songwriter singing about perspective of I don't know, the child character, whatever we want to call that.
Mhm.
I think Winter Wonderland is like, yeah, very perspective. I think they're setting up the snowman character,
Yeah.
and that's who's singing to the songwriter or singing to you or whatever.
I have been searching here for days. Yeah.
Um, he, and then it's like, oh well, a snowman is a great vehicle to sing about things being temporary,
Yeah, because it will
right?
melt.
And to sing about like things being constructed because it is literally like an artifice of a person or a soul or whatever made out of the environment. So it's a very like artificial thing. And if I'm like still if I still believe in my reading of like kind of like the primitivist spirit or the live more simply or more animal like, then it's like a snowman is something kind of like, yeah, I said artificial already, and then you're just setting yourself up for sadness and misery and regret when the snowman melts,
Yeah.
because it's like it's
Like,
and then so cuckoo cuckoo, it's like, okay, it's a song that's mostly about death, life was good, death feels so wrong, whatever.
mhm.
Plausible that you could make the connection and be like, oh, the snowman is singing. I don't know. It's a very loose
Oh,
connection,
like,
but
yeah, like the Kukuku is like his perspective on,
right? And it's
yeah.
like the helplessness of it and so on. But it could just be, yeah, death or the end of things in general. That's my favorite way to take Winter Wonderland, at least, is to tie it to these other ideas throughout the whole thing of like what's really real, and like, okay, it's fun to fantasize, but don't get so caught up in it that it's this terrifying thing and you're putting yourself into snowman, something that's temporary. Like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just yeah, like I guess like not like not like reminiscing and like having nostalgia for it and like wanting to experience it, just sort of like seeing it as like just a memory of like
Yeah,
of your past, and like that's all you think about, I guess.
I experience really heavy object personification. Like having plushies is even something that's kind of challenging for me.
Mm.
I don't know if you can relate at all. It's like it's scary to me that you're, to some extent, if you love like a stuffed animal or a plushie, that's a type of commitment, and it's like, what do you do with that? Like, how is that not like it can't die. It's
Hmm.
it's around forever, and it's got like a kind of a part of my spirit in it, which is like the love or the character and the name that I gave it and all that stuff. Um, so like I can't have any stuffed animals as an adult for that silly reason. And like growing up, it really messed with me if like one got dirty or damaged and had to get thrown out. And adults never seemed to get like how crushing or scary that could be. Um, to take like, yeah, like a thing that can't die and be like, okay, it's in pieces and it's going to the dump forever and etc. And adults can kind of like help kids through that with I don't know, yeah, you get them a new thing and you're like, this is the new manifestation of that entity in your life or that character in
Hmm.
your life or whatever. um I've spoken to like enough people who've had similar experiences to be like, yeah, that's kind of a thing. Like it is just a weird human glitch to put spirits or souls in inanimate objects,
Hmm.
and some of them are a little more resilient, like a stuffed animal, and some of them are totally temporary, like a snowman. So that's just something I kind of picked up on in this song, and especially with the connections to nostalgia, connections to childhood, connections to um, like, yeah, like made up mental images of things and so on. Um, anyways, that's what
Yeah.
I take out of the last few songs.
Yeah, I really like that you connected that with like you're saying like the stuffed animal thing. Like even though like I don't know, like my growing up, I didn't really own stuffed animals, so I I definitely like don't have like that experience, but like I know what you mean though. Like I
Hmm.
like we definitely put like our things like in things that are like not really like living. Like I guess like mm, like even like I don't know. Like I guess like companies and like
Yeah,
like
sure. Even that's an example.
institutions like yeah like I don't know where I'm going with that. Mm, yeah, like I agree with that like that sentiment, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm done. Those were my readings of these songs, more or less, and the patterns and the themes. Um, yeah. I mean, I stopped before talking about Derek because, my God, that song just speaks for itself.
Yeah,
Um,
I need to find the homemade video. I don't think I put it in.
yeah,
Yeah,
please do.
yeah, and I think yeah, like Derek is definitely like also just a good like song to show you guys because it just has a little bit of everything. Oh, wait, what? Why is the YouTube not showing? Derek Collective. Boom. Oh, right here. Okay. So, any final thoughts, or do you just want to play it?
I would love to just let the song speak for itself. I think I already said the like what this means to me, which is in the context of the whole album, it ties it all together. I think this isn't an outstanding album if you chop Derek off the end. It's because thematically the things that it has to say sometimes feel like they don't, or maybe it's like they don't go anywhere, or it's a what's the point or something like that, or what is the emotional um, um, resonance. Like it's also the closest thing to an answer
Yeah,
on this album. If
I
the
think
question is like,
it's a good conclusion
uh,
paragraph for this
yeah,
album. Like, yeah, like just like the like now like you've been like traveling through this like I guess like negativity, and then now you're gonna see like the positive like things like inside like Derek, I guess, or yeah.
that the love like means a commitment. The singer says, "Count on me, count on me, count on me, count on me." Um, God, it's cool. It's a concluding paragraph in the sense of it like saying, "Oh, here's what I've been saying the whole time," but it's concluding because also in like a transformative way, also in like a don't lose sight of this. Like this can kind of be the point. If you get too caught up in nostalgia, if you get too caught up in fear of death, if you get too destroyed by like your alienation from modern society, like if you get too caught up in that, you're also going to be destroyed by regrets, like that you didn't do a good enough job with your dog.
Hmm.
Um, so focus on what's important and try and live in the moment.
Yeah, I yeah I don't have much to add on that, but because I think we've been really developing that on specifically for Derek, or I yeah like yeah let's just play it. Okay, wait. Yeah, and this is the homemade video.
That client review was brutal.
And
I
it
haven't
also
been
has a
in the water
different,
for
interesting
weeks.
I'm already
perspective
so pruny.
of what the song is about,
Hmm.
which you might notice. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, shoot. Before we. Sorry. Because I want to. Here. Boom. All right. Mm.
Well, that was different.
Yeah, they. Yeah, I really actually maybe I don't know, maybe it's not so different. Like even though like they kind of like wrestled with each other and like kind of like were fighting, like they still were like I don't know.
Into some sort of understanding.
Yeah, something like that. Or well, because in the end, like they even though like because he didn't fist bump the other guy at the end, so maybe it's like just like a forgive and just like forget about it.
They also they it I felt like it was tough to keep track because they look a bit the same, but they also just went into each other's his bodies at the end, like, not their original ones.
Oh yeah,
Did you
I
catch that?
no, I didn't catch
I don't
that.
know.
That
I don't know what to make of that video, but that sure was another interpretation. Yeah.
yeah, yeah that I think you are right though that they went into to the different bodies.
Yeah. I have to admit I kind of can't make heads or tails of it, but I just appreciate that people make art interpreting things.
Yeah, I
Yeah. It must have been cut together to go with the song because they matched the duration and the fighting happens when the beat drop happens. Anyways, we're getting way off from actually talking about the music, but that was such an interesting video. How many views? Is that like 14K?
yeah. 35K.
35.
Yeah,
Dude, I love that. Sometimes what I love doing with my friends is just like going on YouTube and finding just bizarre videos with not very many views.
yeah. You're talking
Um,
about like petite YouTube or whatever that website where it'll just like play videos that have 0 views, and you'll be like the
I
first.
haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. That's charming. We just find bizarre things by searching for them. But
Yeah, I
um,
remember like making music off of that, like sort of like finding like samples on like it's that website and just
that's cool. I like that technique a lot. I like that idea a lot.
hmm I think that's already a thing though. I've heard,
Mm.
but yeah, yeah. I think we're trailing off towards the end of this, and yeah, like this album is just amazing, like, and I think, and I guess my last question because this was left in the slides. If this was like the first Animal Collective record you heard, where would you go from there?
I would actually say, um, so this question is really reminiscent of. Do you remember those? Or have you seen those? They're kind of like instructive
Oh,
flow
like
charts.
okay,
So you're trying to get into such and such, and then it gives you a starting point, and then it says, "Did you like this? Go here. Did
yeah,
you
I
like
think
this? Go
that's
here."
I've seen the experimental hip hop one where it's
It's
like
cool.
that. Yeah, like yeah, yeah.
As an aside, I love both the thought experiment of that because it makes people think like, "Oh, what would I do if I was recommending people music?" And it also is like, I don't know. I just like intro lists. I like essentials lists. I like things that are like crafted by people who have a love for a genre to get people up to speed.
hmm
Excuse me. I don't know. I'm just very positive on the whole like yeah, even though maybe there's some purists out there who are like, yeah, it's cringe to accept assistance from an infographic. I don't know. Fuck that. I love infographics.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean they help.
so
Like
I'm gonna construct my answer kind of like this, which is like, um, if you want more of awesome noise on top of like awesome songs, songwriting, try Spirit They Vanished. If you want more, um, if you just loved like the instrumentation basically and the interesting like sound collages, maybe check out Merryweather, to be honest,
yeah, or
because
maybe and if you want like the harsh stuff, check out Arc as well. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know, which I need to know. And then it's like if you want another thematically cohesive record, the second closest to that I know of is actually Feels. If you want another album that is like beautiful and rich in terms of like digging apart the themes and looking for little hints in the lyrics and connections between songs, I would actually say Feels is a really good next one. Because I've grown to respect like, yeah, what gets captured in that and the sincerity of it. And to be honest, like it's very like skilled, sappy indie rock songwriting. Like I think that they clock in with the best of them. Like the damn like the radio successful sappy love pop songwriters like your Vance Joy, Riptide,
Mm.
whatever. It's like I think Feels is up there like swinging with the best of them, um, in terms of sentimental sappy pop music.
Yeah. I
Those are
don't.
my where you go from here. Is like, yeah. I mean, just the ones that are just chronologically the closest in the discography.
Mhm. I Yeah, I mean, Feels is one that I need to like look at more because that one I'm not the most familiar with either. Like I probably only have like 3 listens on it. But yeah, yeah, like I definitely agree with what you're saying because there's definitely like a flow chart there of like
There's That's my favorite way to construct the answer. Would be to ask someone like, "Oh yeah, what resonated with you the most, and then where do you want to go from here?"
and I even
Unfortunately, Strawberry Jam is the only album like Strawberry Jam, and if you want more, there isn't. There isn't. Strawberry
yeah,
Jam is the only
like you're
album
only gonna get
like.
parts of what Strawberry Jam. Yeah, because I actually now that I think about it, we always do this on my podcast. Like we just like if we take parts of what is good and then like you go from there. I never realized that, especially in the Fiery Furnaces one.
Mm.
Mm.
Jovic, it's still
Yeah. Okay. It might be a little late for me. Yeah.
It's time to wrap. I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was really fun to do together. This is a very funny first interaction, by the way, for the two of us that we've
Mm.
again like been in the Smash community together at tournaments, whatever, for a bunch of years, and I didn't even know how to pronounce your name, and we were just able to hop on and talk about music for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And shout outs to music, dog. Shout outs to
Yeah.
music for being
Music
able
is
to
it makes everyone connect in
straight up.
in many different ways. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for showing up. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. We're gonna do Brian Eno probably, and yeah, that will be really interesting there. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.